Hello everyone. Saif, are you here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Cannot see me, right? Yeah.
Yep, you're in. Okay, is everyone in? Let me check the chat first. Hello, everyone can hear us, right? Are you guys able to see us? Yes. All right. Thank you, guys. So let me share my screen first. Cool. So yeah, welcome everyone for the meetups of Ministry of Testing Kuala Lumpur community. So this is our 9th meetup, and I am your host today. Myself, Nitin. I'm working as a QA lead in FAVE. Malaysia. Let me go through the agenda for today. So we will start with introduction to Ministry of Testing community, and then I will pass over to Saif. Saif will be giving a talk on mobile application testing, and then we have our normal 99 seconds talk, and after that it's a wrap. So what's Ministry of Testing, right? So this Ministry of Testing is the biggest software testing community, which hosts events, conferences, provides learning materials for all the testers across the globe, and it is a great community which has many great personalities. And if you go to the Ministry of Testing main website, you can see there are 4 main sections. One is Learn on the Dojo, so which is entirely for the learning. So you can get articles, talks, podcasts, courses, etc. from there. And then there is a connect with the community option, so it will give you access to the club, which is similar to Stack Overflow for testers. And then there is a Slack, which can be used for communication for the community within the community members and all. And then there are feeds, which feeds like 500 plus testing blogs across the globe. And then there are events. So the most important event is Test Bash. So now everything is hosted online. They just wrapped up online Test Bash for New Zealand or something. So, and meetups are organized across the different communities. And then you can actually contribute to the Ministry of Testing. You can contribute, like you can apply for a talk, you can write some articles for them, you can create a dojo course, and you can provide reviews and put advertisements as well. So that's about Ministry of Testing. And regarding the community principles which we follow, be human, be kind, be respectful, be supportive, and then be open-minded. So that's the guidelines which we are following in this community as well. So now I would like to hand over this screen to Saif. So he will be presenting mobile application testing made easy. So he's currently working as a quality analyst in REA group. So Saif, welcome to the screen.
Yeah, thank you, Nitin.
So you can share your screen. I actually give you access.
Yeah. So you guys able to see my screen, right? So everyone, can they see my screen?
Hello. Yeah, Saif.
Yeah, Nitin, are you able to hear me or able to?
You're audible. Yeah, we can see your screen actually.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm audible also, right?
Yes.
So you want to start now, or maybe you want to wait for another 2-3 minutes?
Let's wait for 1 minute and we can start.
Okay, fine.
I guess we can start now, Saif.
Okay, fine. So basically, in this seminar, in this meetup, we are going to discuss some of the important aspect of mobile application testing and why it is important. We won't be going into the technical aspect like how we can design the whole test strategy and all these things, because the time is very short. But to give an overview, to start from somewhere, this meetup will help you to go ahead in if you want to go ahead with the mobile application testing and want to explore this domain also. So let's start this. I am working as a quality analyst in REA Group Asia, and I have been in Malaysia since around 3 years. So yeah, so first question is like, why mobile application development is important? We know that we are into mobile application testing, but why we need mobile application testing? Basically, there are many applications which are like having millions of download, and this is taking place because like the app developers who are building the applications, they know their value, they know the value of the applications on the consumer end. So mobile application development is a very important aspect in software development life cycle. So as per certain statistics, if we are developing apps, that's a lot of market potential. According to Gartner, as of September, 102 billion app downloads equated to roughly $26 billion in revenue, and in 2013 alone. So as you can see, like 102 billion app downloads, which is equivalent to $26 billion in revenue. So you can see the data and you can analyze that how much developers and the companies are investing in mobile application development. And if any statics and historic data is to go by, we are going to see this potential is only going to rise up. So that's why most of the companies and most of the developers, they are now focusing on mobile application development. With this, the next question comes in, like, what is mobile application testing? So once mobile app developers or maybe the companies are coming up with the development of any mobile applications, maybe for Android or iOS, they need to go through thorough testing so that the users are not abandoning the applications and it is having a good rating, and apart from that, the usability aspect of the application is also good. So going to the theoretical definition of mobile application testing, it is like testing by which application software developed from mobile phones is tested for its functionality, usability, and consistency. Mobile application testing can be an automated or manual type of testing. Mobile application either comes with pre-installed like dialer or can be installed from mobile software distribution platforms like Play Store and App Stores. So there are two kinds of applications. One is native applications, which are within the, you can say, mobile devices like dialer or maybe any other which is coming pre-installed in the device. And others are like maybe you are installing from the Play Store or an App Store like Facebook, Twitter, you are directly installing from the App Store. So these are different, these are not pre-installed applications. So mobile apps are projected to hit $188.9 billion in revenue by 2020. So as you can see, the amount of investment and the revenue which mobile application development is bringing in, it is going to be very huge. And some statistics do show that internet usage is falling and mobile internet usage is rising. So basically it's happening because of the cheap data, internet data that is getting available to the masses, and because of this internet usage is rising. So I have given a brief overview why mobile application testing is important and why is mobile development important. But let us come to few more statistics, and this is going to blow your mind. So studies found that 3/4 of mobile users are concerned about app performance before they buy, and that half of app developers say they don't have time to properly test app before release. So you can see, like, the performance of the application, it's like 77% of the users feel like they haven't tested their application properly, and half of the developers say they don't have time to test the apps before release. This is a huge concern, because if your app is like having millions of users, then definitely they are going to go and use your competitors mobile application, so it will be a loss for your business also. The first study conducted through surveys by Harris Interactive and UseMap found that 77% of consumers have concern about mobile app performance. Those concerns do keep some from purchasing, the biggest worry from a consumer standpoint. So as you can see, if you are using any application, you are the consumer of any application, you are using AirAsia application for booking a flight. If it is not working fine, then you are not going to use that application. I mean, if it's crashing now and then and it is causing slowness on your mobile devices, it's causing slowness to your mobile device, then you are not going to use that application and you are going to uninstall it. So it will be a huge financial loss for the organization and for the company itself. So some more statistics, like 50% of the consumer worry about the bugs, 57% worry about crashes, and 48% worry about performance. You can relate, like, it's not like you have just developed the application and you are not going to have usability testing, you are not going to do performance testing, you are app stores and it will bring in revenue. It won't happen like that. You just need to do thorough testing so that the end user, the consumer, they are not worrying about these types of performance issues and crashes. So I believe if you guys can guess this number, this is a huge number, and if this number we are going to convert it, you are going to be amazed by this. Like, this is the total number of mobile users for worldwide. So you see, like, 7 billion mobile phone users are there. So how much potential it has in terms of generating revenues and these kind of things. Let's go to some more statistics. And app store consumer spending. If you are not aware what is app store consumer spending, it is like once you are making any in-app purchases, or maybe you are buying anything, any extra credits from your application through any app store, or maybe you are buying the application itself from the app store, that spending is an app store consumer spending. So it is total $157 billion. So and on an average $157 billion is being spent. That's a lot of money, and 7 billion users worldwide. So around 79% of users abandoned a product after only 1 day of use. So you can see that around 20% are only not letting the application, or not, they are not uninstalling the application. Apart from that, 79% they are just abandoning the product after 1 day of use. So I believe till what we have seen now, there isn't any doubt why mobile app testing is important. Global mobile app revenue is projected to generate $582 billion US dollars through paid downloads and in-app advertising. So you can see the potential any mobile application, if it is a very big enterprise, or maybe if it is a very good consumer based mobile application, how much money it can generate, how much leads it can generate. Let's go and see like some of the approaches of testing mobile application. It won't be a very detailed one, but I will be touching the basic how we can do and how we can test mobile applications. So basically there are different types of mobile app. One is native application, one is hybrid application, and one is mobile web. So to give a more idea about native applications, these applications basically they are written in the same language in which the OS is, like say for example Android is supporting you can say Android Studio, and for that we need to write the code using Android Studio. So it is written in Java. And if you go for iOS, we have a different platform. We are using Xcode to write the code, and that is written in Swift. So likewise, mobile webs, they can be like, have you heard about m.facebook.com? You must be remembering the days when we used to use m.facebook.com. So all these websites which are using m. something, it is a mobile web. Though mobile web, they are getting replaced by hybrid web applications or hybrid websites, but to summarize, they are still in use and some companies are using it. So we came to know like why mobile testing is important, why mobile application development is important, some statistics about how revenues are getting generated. So there are certain types of testing which we can do in mobile application. So one is functional testing. So functional testing is the like same type of testing how you are doing for web applications. There are certain features you are testing across different platforms, and then if everything is working fine, you are just moving ahead with the release. Performance testing, basically it is done using internal, you can say, IDE like Xcode and Android Studio, or maybe you can use any other third-party tools. Like for performance testing, there are certain metrics also which you can take from different crash logs providers like Fabrics and TestFlight, and apart from that, you can do some manual performance testing using inbuilt analyzers in Android Studio and Xcode. So memory leakage testing is also like similar to performance testing, but in this we only see the leakage of the memory. If any application it is having too much of memory leakage, so what will happen if your application is like having too much of memory leakage? It will cause your app to crash, and it will also cause your device to slow down. So as a user, I won't like to use any application which is consuming my memory and it is causing other apps to behave inappropriately. So definitely we need to do memory leakage testing. This also can be done using analyzers which are built in Xcode and Android Studio. Apart from that, there are some third-party tools which can be used to do memory leakage testing. So internet testing is something like, maybe if you are using the application and you are getting any call messages, we need to test our application in such a way that if any interruption like call messages or maybe any notification is coming, our application is not getting freezed or it is not getting crashed. So we need to do some these types of testing. Network testing is like testing the application across different you can say internet strength like 4G, 2G, 3G, maybe Wi-Fi, so that like as a consumer, it's not like everyone is going to have a Wi-Fi or everyone is going to have 5G connection. So that's why we need to test the application across 3G and 4G also. Installation testing is like if I want to install the application on different OS version, and apart from that, if I am installing it on different OEM. So OEM means original equipment manufacturer, like Samsung, it is OEM, Xiaomi, it is OEM, iOS, it is OEM. So it is their original device which they are manufacturing. So we need to test across these different devices, and installation should be good. It's not like if I'm able to install the application on Samsung, it shouldn't get installed. It shouldn't be like that. So whatever application we are installing, it should get installed successfully on the devices or OEM. Force upgrade testing. Okay, so this is one of the most important testing, because like if you are having millions of users and you want to do force upgrade testing, first of all, why we do force upgrade testing? We do force upgrade testing so that we are not supporting the minimum version of the application which are being used by the user. So say for example, any user is using 4.0.x version of the application. Now we have made multiple releases and our application is into 5.0.x version. Now I want all the users to use 5.0.x version. So in that case, it won't be possible to ask all the users to update our application and saying that we don't want to support the lower version. It won't be possible. So what we can do in that case, we can just ask the user to have, we will be giving them a force upgrade, and then they need to install the application in order to continue using the application further. So localization and internationalization testing, it's basically like I mean, a very common example is like Facebook. You want to use Facebook in any of your local languages. Maybe you want to use in Polish language, maybe you want to use in German language, maybe you want to use in Malay language. How the application is tested, if every translated text in the application makes sense in the localized language, we are doing these kind of testing. And what if I am posting anything in the morning in from USA, is it like how it is getting displayed in India? So these kind of testing we do in localization and internationalization testing, and keeping in view the local aspect, it is one of the most important testing that we need to do. Okay, so basically this is like I came up with my own experience, and it is a blog from, it's a post from my blog which I have written few years back. And the observations that I made is like how we can improve mobile application testing. This is not a functional testing, it's like coming from my experience, and it's a non-functional testing. So basically, if you are testing the app, you need to pick the app from the background. It's not like just you need to go put the app in background and then you need to launch again. Maybe after 1 minute or 2 minutes, try relaunching the app. The app should be behaving as expected, and it shouldn't be causing any lags or maybe any crash. So most of the time developers are not giving any heeds to these kind of scenarios, and once you launch the app, after 1 minute or 2 minutes, they start crashing. So we need to look into this. So the second thing is screen orientation. We need to take care, like if we are supporting the portrait or the landscape. If we are not supporting portrait or landscape, maybe whatsoever is the reason, we shouldn't orientate the application in any wrong orientation. And even if we are supporting, we need to take care that the usability aspect is not lost and the application is still good to use in any orientation if we are supporting that. The third one is the gesture. I mean, if you are using any application, you might have noticed that if you try to tap any button or maybe you try to enter any text, sometimes you need to do tapping multiple times, like 2-3 times. So in that situation, the usability aspect is not good. Maybe they need to increase the touchpad area where you are tapping. I mean, the developers need to increase the touchpad area so that it is easier for the end user to use the application and it is not causing any difficulty. So performance, like as I discussed previously, performance is also one of the most important aspect, and we need to do the performance testing based on the competitors. That say for example, I am working for XYZ company and their competitor is YZ. So I need to map my application and see if my launching time, my closing app time, maybe if any response is coming from the backend, if I am searching anything with reference to the competitor, it should be at par with the competitor. It shouldn't lag behind. Otherwise, it's not a good you can say news for us. And network testing, this is like what I said before, like network testing, we need to test the application in different networks, 3G, 4G, Wi-Fi. Apart from that, you can also try testing it in flight mode. So when you are keeping your application in flight mode and you are like doing monkey testing or something like that, it is going to cause some crashes. I personally believe like if anyone is using 2G or 3G and if we are doing some testing in flight mode, it is going to remove most of the bugs in flight mode and it won't be causing any issue in 2G or 3G network. So this is one of the best question which I have came across. Like many people are asking like there are so many devices and there are so many fragmentation in the OS, how we can do testing on how we can create a device matrix and which device to test. So to answer this, I haven't like written a very high-fi long answer, but what I have generically used in my experience, and from my experience what I can say is, once we want to create the device matrix, we need to take out the device which is having a higher user base. Then we need to test on the new OS version. Say for example, Apple recently came out with iOS 12, right? So in order to make sure that once the user are migrating to new OS version iOS 12, I need to test it beforehand in the beta version of the iOS 12, so that I need to make sure that the application is not crashing, or maybe there isn't any UI issues in the iOS 12. So this is called like pre-beta testing on the application. Different companies are using different lingos for this new OS version testing, but it's basically a pre-beta testing on the OS, minimum supported version and resolution. So basically if you are supporting, let's say for example your company is supporting Android 6, so we need to test on one device which is minimum supported. If your company is supporting Android 7, you need to test on any one device on Android 7. Similarly it goes for iOS. If your company is supporting maybe iOS 9, you need to test your application on at least one device in iOS 9, and based on region where the user is located. So this is like something, say for example your application is more widely used in Europe, so definitely you are not going to test it based on the user based in any other continent, maybe Australia. You need to organize your testing strategy so that you are targeting the region where your user is located. If 70% of the user are in Europe, then you are going to test based on the devices which your user are using in Europe. Okay, so simulator versus emulator. I'm not sure how many of you are aware like what is simulator, what is emulator, and also there is lot of confusion around this topic. But in just 2 lines, I will be explaining it what is simulator and what is emulator. Okay, so simulator, very simple concept. Anything which is related to software, it is simulator. Emulator, once we are getting hardware plus software plus OS, it is an emulator. So it's a very simple thing to remember. Simulator is a software, emulator hardware plus software plus OS. So when it comes to emulation versus simulation, emulation duplicates while simulation replicates a real device. In a virtual environment, emulation imitates behavior closely. Simulation mimics behavior of a real device but doesn't necessarily match it exactly. Both are useful in app testing in addition to real devices. So like buying a real devices, it's not feasible for every organization. They need to rely on simulators or emulator, because if you tend to buy the real devices, how much devices you are going to buy, it won't be a cost effective approach for your organization. So you need to rely on simulators or emulators. I believe this is like the overall gist, like how mobile application testing is working and what are the certain conditions we need to take care in mobile application testing. And there can be a different aspect like how you are testing. So I haven't shared those things in much detail, but this is the starting point from where you can start testing your mobile application. So I would like to share the screen with Nitin so he can start and share the experience. Yeah, I hope you like this session.
Thank you so much, Saif. It was so informative,
Thank you,
and
Nitin.
I like the handy tips which you shared. Actually, the 5 tips which you shared, right? So that one was quite good.
Mhm.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
So
Nitin.
we can wait for questions. So if anyone has questions, please put over it in chat section, or you can use the questions tab as well. Or if you want to share your thoughts or experience with us, maybe we can give you access to the screen.
I hope I wasn't fast.
No, it was on the right pace actually. It's fine.
Hello.
Hi, Amir.
Yeah, hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, great talk, Saif. I like I like all the slides and your information. It really gives a new angle to me in terms of information. I have one question actually in terms of the device metric. When you have selected set of devices that you want to test, let's say you have iPhone 12, 10, and up to 8, right? Maybe you choose Android 11 and 10, those kind of things, right? How do you actually build the infra to test all the possible permutations of handphones that fit this requirement? If you can try to share in a general manner, yeah.
Yeah, I got your question, but the fact here is like there isn't one specific strategy. But the best thing that you can do is if you are using any analytics management tool like Google Analytics or something like that, you can get some good idea like which users are using which devices, and apart from that which OS version is being used, and also some data like if any new OS version is coming in the market, you won't be having data for that, but you do have some data from your product itself. From maybe you can try asking like from the product team like which devices are widely used for your product and in which market. Thereby you can just define and narrow down your testing strategy for creating the device metrics. And then say for example around 60% of the users are using iOS 12 and around 10% of the users are using iOS 11. So I don't feel like if you are having a very small time you need to test across iOS 11. Testing across iOS 12 should be sufficient if you're not having that much of time. Likewise, you need to create for different OS versions and different resolution. So the two things which you need to take care of when creating a device matrix is the OS version and the resolution. Apart from which model OEM you are using, like you are using Samsung or maybe you are using Xiaomi, these three things you need to take care while creating the device matrix. I hope I was able to answer you, Amir. Maybe if you want,
yeah, but when you have narrowed this down, do you actually test on an actual device, or you go out to and get services that like emulate your apps or something like that? I mean, what's the next step when you narrow down that?
So basically that also depends, like if your organization is ready to churn out some money for cloud devices or not. And if they are not ready, and if they are also not ready to go for real devices, then you can just use simulators from you can just use ADB Studio to create Android simulators or maybe any other simulators available, and Xcode to create iOS simulator. Because most of the time the free version of the simulator or maybe real devices on cloud, it is not available, and even if it is available, it is for like 30 minutes or 20 minutes. So the best idea is try to test it on the simulator itself, and if you are having the device you can test on the device also. Yeah, Amir, was is it okay?
Yep. Understand your point.
Fine,
I think it depends on budgets and everything. So
yeah,
you can
right.
Clouds, if not you can just use local emulator or something.
Right.
I think second question I have is on the force upgrade testing. So I never knew it's a type of testing actually. So I'm just wondering what happens to the phone that isn't upgraded, that's not able to be upgraded. Are you guys normally still support that, or does the user get certain functionalities based on the upgrade or something?
Yeah,
Just
actually,
what happens to that? Yeah.
So it's like it depends how you are handling the application. If like you are just totally neglecting the application, then you will maybe just get a simple message that move on to any new device or any new version. Depends, like if you are not supporting the versions, maybe your application you just need to freeze it or something like that. But most of the time what I have seen, they are just displaying the messages that this phone is not compatible with the app version, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So in summary, it depends on the product owners. If they want to support,
Right.
they give limited ability. If not, they just say please
Yeah.
upgrade your phone. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so most of the time they will totally dismantle it and they're not going to support, because even supporting a minimal functionality, that is also kind of a bit of troublesome, so they are not supporting that also. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Making it more cost effective. Okay, got it. All right, that's it from me. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Amir.
Thanks, Amir. Okay, Saif, we got some questions from our joiners. So, okay, from Nasir. So he want to know like how. So in web we have inspect element, right? So he want to know how to do the same in mobile testing. So how you find errors and debug like similar to inspect element in web app.
Yeah, Nasir. So basically, like once you are inspecting the element, this is like kind of automation that you are trying to achieve, I personally believe. So for inspecting the element, we need to know that what kind of automation you are trying to do. Like you are doing, which tool you are using. You are using APM, or maybe you are using detox automation, monkey talk, or maybe any other automation tool which are present. So like iOS and Android also provide their native automation tool. So in order to inspect any element, you just need to, if suppose for example you are using APM, there is an APM inspector which you can use in order to inspect any element. So likewise, I believe every automation tool, they have their own inspector for inspecting the element. Yeah.
I guess his question got one more point. He was trying to convey like inspect element option, right? So the inspector option. So it will have like network tabs or something. I guess he's asking about that. So how can we check the error? Like how we check error from inspect element in web app?
Inspect element in web app. Actually, for web apps, it's like similar to how you are using the Chrome browser, or you are using any other tool. So I believe it can be used in that way. So web application, maybe you are opening on the application and you can directly use the Chrome tool if you want to inspect all these things. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, all right. So the next question, Violetta has one question. So when you have limit of time to test mobile app, do you have any plan or order what to do first, and in which order you suggest?
Okay. So this is a good question. Most of the time it's like happening, we have a very short release testing time. So in that time, what we can do, I mean, it comes from experience also, like which test case you want to execute. Apart from that, what is going to be your testing strategy? So if you take my personal opinion, what I do, I just test on the very recent version of the OS on any device. Say for example, I will just pick up Android 10 with Samsung, and apart from that I will just pick up minimum supported version of the mobile application. And say for example, minimum supported is around Android 6 for Android and Android 9 for iOS. So I will pick those two device with the application, and I will start executing the test cases. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Hope you answered the question.
Mhm.
And the next one is can be done mobile performance testing without deep knowledge of test automation?
Actually, there are a lot of tools available in the market which can help you generate some metrics for mobile applications. But if you are having a good understanding of using the Android Studio and Xcode, it will help you to better analyze the performance. So, I mean, coding is not necessary in that situation, but you should know how to use Android Studio and Xcode.
Okay, makes sense. And the next one is any examples of interesting bugs you found during testing mobile apps, which we can take into account.
Okay, so there are a lot of bugs. Maybe last time when I was working for one of my client, so we used to have SDKs are basically in third party integration tool and software development kit, so that are integrated. So any payment, you can say it's a kind of in a third party tool. So there was an issue once I was entering the CVV number. It was not a mandatory field, but in the SDK there was some bug. So once I was entering the the CVV number in the payment gateway on maybe in debit or credit card, so it was crashing the application. So you see, the issue was from the third party and it was causing my application to crash. So these kind of issues do come into pictures once you are working with multiple microservices and multiple third party SDKs and these kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. And one more question. When we released an app, I found out about some bugs from the customers
Mhm.
that it even did not come to my mind. Do you have any tips for test strategy or any risk assessment you have in your work which can help to come up with this idea?
Okay, so basically, if I believe if you are doing functional testing and you have automated all your manual test cases and your automation test case is also working fine, then the issue which will come from the customer side, it will be most of the time the compatibility issues. Maybe something is not working on iOS 11, or maybe some button is not working on Android 9, but functionality won't be broken on all the OS versions and these kind of things. So this is very hard to define, like, okay, if any, how you can, I mean, you cannot go and just test on all the device fragmentation and OS, so it's kind of impossible. But the second thing which I would like to add to your question is, like, maybe if you are using any crash management tool like Crashlytic or Firebase or Sentry.io, you can just take out the crashes which are coming on most of the devices. Like, say for example, any crash is coming on Android 9, so all the logs are there in this log management tool. You can just go try replicating the steps, and then you can ask the developer to fix the issue.
Okay. Hope Saif answered your question. So all the questions are moved to answered section. Yeah, one more to go. How to answer during interview professionally on a question? What is the difference in testing web and mobile app? So it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Like, most of the time, I have also got some questions like, what is the difference between testing Android app and iOS app? So, in short, like, I would like to say my personal opinion is, like, whatever we are testing to make our consumers happy, to make our clients happy. In terms of technical difference, I would say that there are different set of tools which are needed for mobile application, and maybe there are some different set of tools and strategies for web application. But the short goal is to achieve the quality of our product so that our consumers are happy and we are getting more leads. And yeah, this is what I personally believe.
Okay, that's good. I believe we can wait for 1 more minute for any questions further. After that, we can move to the next segment, which is 99-second talks. So do you guys have any more questions? Yeah, there is a thanks from Violeta. Okay, so yeah, we can move to the next segment, which is 99 seconds talk. So if anyone want to chip in and share their thoughts or anything, you can just raise your hand and we will give you access to the screen. We still got time, 12 minutes, so the stage is yours. I guess everyone is shy. No one is raising their hands.
Yeah, I think it's the time. If you guys are having any questions or maybe any confusion, you can just ask. Yeah.
Fine. Okay, so I will hand over. So one interest is there. Yeah, she will be joining in a while. Hey, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, are we audible?
Yeah, I just would like to thank you for this presentation and for the answers. And in such a short amount of time, thank you for the structure of your talk and for this great point. I made a screenshot and now understand that I need to dive deeper to this topic. And thank you for this possibility and for answering my questions. Thank you guys a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Thanks a lot. So anyone else want to chip in? Nasir, I can see one of your comment. Do you want to chip in and share what you were trying to ask Saif? Asking you, Saif, if you arrange a session of live demo for mobile testing, that would be great.
Okay. Maybe we will see in future if Ministry of Testing is interested for any kind of live demo. I will try to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we are interested. Yeah, we will keep this in mind.
Yeah. We will keep that in mind.
One more question. Any testing techniques that you use specially for mobile testing?
Okay, so this is a good question, but not many are using. But if you want to utilize any mnemonics, you can use that. So there is one mnemonics like I sliced up fun. I don't want to go against each what it means, but it's like I means interruptions. Sliced in S, it means store. So likewise, each alphabet means something, and it will help you to strategize your mobile application testing. I think you should just go on the web and just search for I sliced up fun, and it is a very good technique to remember what kind of functional and non-functional testing you can do for mobile application.
That's a great tip. That's a great
Yeah,
tip.
I will just write it there.
Yeah, sure, please. Okay, so yeah, so is there anyone else want to chip in or ask any questions? Otherwise, we can wrap it up. Okay, so Nasir is asking, how can we do regression testing for mobile?
So basically, the approach will be same like how you are doing on web application, but you cannot use all the different OS and the device and OEM. So you need to restrict your regression. And what I personally do, I just pick around one or two major devices from both Android and iOS OS, and then I start doing regression. So the major functionality I test on any one or two devices, and all other minor test cases and minor regression test cases I am just doing on maybe any one application or two, sorry, one OS device or two OS device, not more than that. Yeah, because at the end of the day you don't have that much time that you can do all your, say for example, if you are having around 1000 or 2000 regression test cases, you cannot just go and do it on all devices. That's not possible.
Yeah, correct. We have to segment it based on our user base and all. Yeah,
right.
So the next one, you are getting a lot of questions, Faiz. Do you have examples of mobile app which can be used as good examples when developing mobile app?
So it's basically a broad question. So when we are developing mobile application, we keep in mind our user and the audience engagement that we want to have. So the application, if it is social, it will be having some different strategy. If it is like in hospitality, it will have different. But if in short you want to pick up any 3, 4, 5 good apps, I think Facebook, Instagram, and apart from that there is one Airbnb for the booking of rooms. So these kind of application you can just play around and try finding out like if you can find any bugs or these kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. And next one is on, can you tell me about accessibility points which can be tested in mobile apps? Anything special?
Not really. I mean, any application you are testing, you just need to see that everything is looking good and you are able to you are not able to find any issues when you are performing. And even accessibility also, like there are a lot of conditions and criteria that how you want to test, how you want to approach your testing. So it all depends like who your end audience is and what is your goal.
Okay, cool. Okay, for my curiosity, I got a question for you, Saif. So you explained about simulators and emulators, right? And we do have some cloud platforms which offers devices.
Right.
So based on your experience, which one you suggest, like out of 4, like real devices, emulators, simulators, and cloud, which one you prefer to do your testing?
Okay, so most of the time I am doing my testing on real devices. Like the major application testing that we are doing for our users, it is on a real device. So for example, I am testing in Malaysia market. So most of the time the Malaysia market is having around 60 to 70% of any specific iOS version. I am just trying to follow that technique that on real device I will test everything. But if there are any issues or maybe the device is not available, I am trying to go for simulator also. So it's a mix and match kind of thing. It's not like very hard and fast that I will only test on real device. It's nothing like that.
Okay, depends on the situation you pick the right one.
Right.
Yeah, got it. And any resources we can read or listen to broaden our knowledge in mobile testing?
Okay, so actually I was going through mobile Ministry of Testing website, and they have a lot of resources. So if you want, you can just go through them and try searching with the keywords mobile testing, mobile automation. And they are also having a Slack channel. Ministry of Testing is having a Slack channel, and in that Slack there is one mobile testing channel. You can just go there, and there are a lot of questions coming in there, so it will help you to increase your knowledge.
Yep. Correct. So I guess there is a dojo course on mobile testing as well. So maybe you can check it out. And there are several podcasts. So yeah, I hope there are no questions. The question tabs are cleared up. Do you guys have any other questions in mind to ask? I guess it's thanks a lot. Yeah, cool. Yes, Saif. Yeah, I guess the questions are over. Thanks for your interesting session, and we are looking forward for the live demo session which you are planning to do.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So the next meetup is on 12th January 2021. So we will see you after the new year. If you are interested, if anyone of you are interested to submit a talk or something, just reach out to me or Ram or Amir. So we will help you to get it done.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks,
All
Nitin, for hosting us. Yeah, it was very good meeting with you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time and like sharing your knowledge with the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.